Oh, wow.
So happy birthday, doctor. I couldn't say shout out to you yesterday. I couldn't really celebrate him. It's just an amazing support. I like well-trained adults.
Very important.
I love your glasses, though.
I love it.
Really nice.
This is Mr. Lemi. It's the collection. The
it looks really nice.
6 glasses.
Really nice.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
Happy New Month.
This
This is my conference month.
No.
I am very grateful to God for this month. I am taking a step. I went to the auditorium yesterday to see, oh my God, it's a beautiful auditorium. I'll post the picture and video after the show. Has a capacity for 1,200 with overflow 1,500. We are like 50% into registration. If you are in Lagos on the 17th of February, you should find your way. I even have someone saying she's coming from Benue. Like, she just sent me a DM, and I'm really looking forward to it. We are putting in our best effort to ensure that the conference turns out well. So I just walked around to pick where we'll put different elements on the stage. Stood up, prayed. I'm excited. Yeah, scabashed is the word. Yeah, because we needed to saturate the place. Yes, collected everything.
We are looking forward to the event, and I really love it because of the sort of conversations we're going to be having. You know, sometimes we make money, but we really do not pay attention to how we manage the money, and some of us mismanage money. So I'm looking forward to that. But my own is coming this Saturday.
Again, all road leads to.
It's free as well, just helping people to set their goals and do proper vision boarding. So I did an IG live yesterday with my partner, and it was just sharing the benefits of, you know, goal setting. A lot of people do not even know why they should. And we hear things like, how these things people do, it's not working, it's working. You just need to learn how to do it properly, and you'll see the results. But my daughter yesterday gave me a card. She's a very lovely girl. She sent me notes. On the bed we have, she just stand up, go and script something. I love you, mommy, Kaima. I love you, mommy. I love how you take care of me. I love how, I say, please put it here.
Look at it.
She just reminds me of the kind of person I would have been if not for trauma. That's just me.
You love love.
I love love. I'm a lover girl.
Oh, fantastic. I'm doing well, you know. It's all good. It's a new month. You know, I'm having that 12-year-old daughter who's just constantly, you know, having those emotions, and I'm like, you know, but you have to just hold back again. But it's all good, yeah.
Well, you're doing a parenting program. Mariah, you need to mention it in your tribe. Somebody mentioned our own personal stuff, and the coaches community. You're in a community. I'm sure you have not mentioned it. Mention it, because sometimes we are staying alone in trying to figure it out, but somebody else has gone through that journey and can help you along. So put it in that group as well.
Alrighty, let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. EFCC traces 7 billion naira fraud, cash to religious group. I had my son being bitten, crying when abductors called me. Supreme Court lambasts ex-Adamawa rec who do arrest for irresponsibility and criminality. CBN worries over banks' excessive forex exposure. Otedola is FBN Holdings chairman. Government to fix marina, other Lagos shorelines. And rumpus in Federal Civil Service over redeployment of PERMSEX. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, so the major headline, the EFCC, Oga Patapata, said that they are recovering stolen funds, and it's sad that as it stands before the audience, that the experience in fighting corruption has to do with religious leaders and even traditional leaders. He said, as I stand before you, there's a matter we are handling of over 30 billion naira fleeced from Nigeria, and we're able to trace 7 billion naira to a particular religious body. And we wrote to the leader of the religious body. The next thing we saw was a restraining order stopping us from inviting them, stopping us from recovering the money. And then he used the opportunity to say that, there's a particular religious sect that launders money for terrorists. These are the problems that they are battling. He also now used it to appeal to them that our faith leaders, my appeal is that those who lead our society from churches and mosques should develop messages that glorify industry, hard work, probity, and contentment over riches, irrespective of how it is made. We all must stand up and be counted in the effort to reset the mentality of our youth, and the fast lane to affluence is fraud. I like this speech. It summarizes what we are dealing with. But, sadly, it also affirms that we have so monetized religion that we don't preach salvation anymore. It's something else that we do.
A little bit of good story for people in Edo State, as the Edo State governor yesterday signed a 228 billion agreement. So this is an infrastructural agreement. They are going to be doing the Benin-Asaba Road Express way. It's an expressway that we've seen several times that doesn't do good. The contract is between is a triple infrastructure will be funding it, and InfraCorp, and they need to be supported by the state government. The 25-year highway development agreement initiative, a concession to Africa Plus partners, and the governor was saying that this is a new system to unlock infrastructural development in the state, because there's a challenge with funding. So with this integration of funding with construction company, we support, we'll be able to see infrastructure on ground. I'm sure the people of Edo will be waiting that when we sign, because they've always accused the governor in previous times of always signing, but then we're not seeing the result of the signing that takes place. We're hoping this result to be delivered. At least they'll start seeing the results in a short time before he leaves the house, because the governor of Edo State is on his way. He's on his way out. He's counting down.
Yeah, when he will go. So the federal government yesterday unfolded plans to rehabilitate the marina and other major shorelines in Lagos State. He said the decision was to avert the dangers posed by erosion to major infrastructures like the Lagos Blue Rail Line along the coastlines. Now, the government also assured Lagos residents that the 11.8-kilometer third mainland bridge would be reopened in April. Minister of Works Dave Umahi was the one who made this known after they had a joint project assessment with Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. This happened in Lagos. And alongside with contractors and top directors of the Federal Ministry of Works, they spent hours in boats navigating under the third mainland bridge, Qatar and Eko bridges. Now, after inspecting the lagoon sections, the minister inspected the underdeck of the Qatar bridge and the Jora section of Eko bridge, and also assured Nigerians that there was no cause for fear over their solidarity. They went ahead again to inspect the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the ongoing rehabilitation of the flyover at Loto Junction. And they said the impact created by the current of water on the Lagos shorelines was a source of concern, and that's why they're going to be working on it. So the assurance now is that the contractors will begin work on the underdeck and lagoon sections of the third mainland bridge and Qatar bridges next week. So let's see how.
I have a very sad story here from the nation. So the father, Mr. DBC Jegede, the father of 13-year-old Ugolami Jegede, who was abducted alongside 10 others in Ekiti, said that he heard the cry of his son while he was being beaten when the kidnappers were speaking to him on the phone. So this young boy was kidnapped alongside his mother, 40-year-old Esther. I think they were all part of the 10 people who were 6 people, 3 teachers, coming from Apostolic Faith Church Primary School in Ekiti, and they were abducted by the gunmen. He said that he heard them beating up his son while they were asking and demanding for money. So they asked him for 10 million naira per head for his, so it's 20 million naira he's looking for. He said, this is the darkest moment of his life. I'm really perplexed and confused. I do not know what to do because I have no one to help me. He says that he can't even begin to imagine what his wife and son and the others kidnapped, what they're going through. He said the kidnappers even threatened to kill them if they don't bring the money. But he's just pleading and asking government to put money. The community have started raising money for them, some kind of a GoFundMe, but they're just asking government to intervene and ensure the safety of these 10 people that were abducted in Ekiti. Moving on now to the Punch. CBN orders banks to sell excess dollars in 24 hours. House of David loses multi-million naira Lagos church to fire. Ekiti, Obas threatened to invoke Yoruba gods against kidnappers. EFCC probing Nigeria air deal, says Keyamo. Makinde gives companies with explosives 72-hour ultimatum. Shareholders excited as Otedola becomes FBN Holdings chairman. Tinubu directs AGF Lukobiri to end $1.3 billion oil block dispute. And abductors flogged Ekiti school children, says proprietor. Okay, which story?
So I have the human interest story. The House of David Church in Surulere Street at Guinea-Bissau in Ikeja yesterday was caught in fire and lost all its multi-million naira church auditorium to the fire. According to the Lagos State Fire Service spokesperson, Amadou Shakiri, he said that the church's auditorium ceiling was overheating, which caused it to collapse and ignite a fire which burned the auditorium and all the equipment within it, the AC, the chairs, everything inside the auditorium was lost. They have a conference starting today, and the senior pastor of the household of David, Lushola Oshumakinde, says this is a painful experience. He said he heard passers-by who were mocking him, saying, where was Jesus when this happened?
Oh, God.
And, so that's the trial itself. He had several things says that we're starting the message conference today, but something happened. I just want to put a message out there to people. I came here this morning, everybody was setting up, everything was going on fine, and all of a sudden, we started hearing that there was a fire and something up there on the roof of the church. I know there will be reactions and people will say this and that, but that is none of my concern for now. The most important is that we thank God. No life was lost, and we thank God for everything. We are not so discouraged, but we believe in God, and we'll still go on with the conference. So God still tries God's people.
Of course.
In my faith, it is those who are closest to God, who are loved by God, that He tries. That's the same.
All right, let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present.
Okay, we're going to continue with the Punch.
Another story based off what has been happening in Ekiti State. Ekiti State monarchs are threatening to invoke traditional methods including the Yoruba gods, against kidnappers who are terrorizing the states. You know, they reminded us of the stories that we have taken so far, the killing of 2 Ekiti monarchs, the Onimojo of Imoja, Mojo Oba Olatunde Olushola, and the election of Eshun Ekiti, Oba Babatunde Ogunshoki. Yes, and you know, they also talked about the school children that were abducted as well, saying that this is becoming one too many, and those 2 abductions happened, the killing and the abduction happened almost in the same area, but the Obas need to do something about this. That back in the day, they had some traditional methods that they were using to, you know, protect themselves, and, you know, it is their responsibility to also protect their people. So now they are going to be requiring from the state government security and also an ability to be able to fortify themselves to protect their people. You know, narrating that in the days of old, you cannot, you know, kill a king is sacrilege, and so the gods must be appeased. And now they are, that one of the reasons some of these things have been watered down is because of the influx of the foreign religion, that's Christianity and Islam, that has come into the society. But now they have to retrace their steps back to see how they can begin to protect their people using their own traditional methods and their gods. So I agree with them. Whatever you need to do to protect your people, that's also okay. And the traditional chiefs also need to be reinstalled to their place of power like we had back in the days. That tradition, we should hold on to it.
Okay, so FBN Holdings, that's First Bank Holdings, appointed billionaire businessman Femi Otedola as a new chairman of the board of directors to succeed Hamad Abdullahi. In a corporate notice filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited on Wednesday, the financial institution said Otedola was appointed at the board meeting. He has been appointed as a non-executive director in August, back in August the 15th, 2023, and his appointment was hereafter ratified by the shareholders at the last general meeting. So congratulations to him.
I'm really, really happy for him. He aspired for this, and I'm happy that he's getting it. Let's just remember that our Ibukwa Oshika was also once in this same position. So let me take the CBN, still within the banking sector. The CBN has made this new order. The circular was sent yesterday on Wednesday to all the banks that they should sell out their excess dollars that they stored within 24 hours. This is a move by the CBN to reduce the this exchange. The way Naira has fallen in the past few days, they are trying to see how they can shore up the Naira back, saying that a lot of banks have excess foreign exchange saved up and that they should be sold. There's something called, I just realized, it's called the NOP. That's the net open position. That the net open position, which is a requirement for managing their cash flow, should be between 0 or 20%. It should not exceed it. That's the amount of dollar they should have in comparison to the amount of deposits of dollars that they've been given, should not exceed 20%. So if any bank is caught having excess of 20% of the bank shareholders' funds in dollars in stock, they would be a sanction be imposed on them. They're ready to sell out. So I'm hoping that if they actually execute this circular that has been given, all the major banks were listed, that we probably would have the Naira appreciate a little bit, because we can see that many people are in reactionary mode. This is not the time to buy, personal advice, this is not the time to buy dollar to keep, because it is actually very, very, it's a fake hike. Yeah. So if you are sending money to Nigeria, send money. But if a Nigerian is trying to buy dollar for keeping, this is not the season. Except you desperately need dollar, don't buy it, because that's what would keep the fake value going up.
Our money will come up.
It is already on its way up. We're praying and
Vanguard. EFCC battles religious sect over 13 billion naira money laundering for terrorists. I wish I read that story, but Nima took that story already. Otedola takes over First Bank as chairman. Northwest governors rule out negotiation with terrorists. Go ahead. EFCC investigating ex-ministers Sirika over Nigeria air deal, says Keyamo. Bandits kidnapped 2 sisters in Abuja, demand 30 million naira ransom. And more on Ikiti kidnap. Okay, which story?
So I have the 30 million naira ransom. According to this, just after the Ikiti kidnap, government suspected to be bandits kidnapped 2 teenage sisters from the Greater community in Chikakore, Kubwa, Bwari area council of the FCT. And this is coming 8 days after the members of the Chikakore village demonstrated before the FCT minister's office, Nyesom Wiki, citing poor conditions of the main route to connecting their community as one of the reasons for the area's high rate of kidnapping. Just 8 days after, I don't think this is reprisal though, but I think the issues that makes that place porous should also be addressed. But they said the sisters, 16 and 14 years, were taken through the forest and the hills in the area, and the kidnappers have called and demanded the ransom of 30 million naira.
Okay, another story in Vanguard?
Yes, yeah. So they said to secure the release of 6 kidnapped school children, 3 teachers and their driver. Ondo State Security Outfit, codenamed Amoteco, yesterday deployed 100 of his personnel to Ekiti State. Ondo Amoteco Commander Chief Adetunji Adeleye was the one that said this while he was parading 31 suspected criminals arrested in the state. And he disclosed that Amoteco was acting on the orders of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. And the deployment set came as the Ekiti Council of Traditional Rulers urged by the Governor Biodun Oyebanji to empower them to secure their domains, which I had already taken in the other story. So they said that the reason, that's according to the Governor, that the reason why they are deploying 100 Amoteco security personnel to Ekiti State was to help secure the release of the pupils that were arrested and the killers of the monarch, to find the killers of the monarch as well. And so they are also going to be, going around to see how this can happen. That they've been given about 48, they were there in the last 48 hours, and some arrests have been made already. So we should expect good news very soon on the arrest of the perpetrators of the act. And then the conversation went into how it's important that they have state policing in the different states as well, because those people will know how to understand their forest, comb their forest, they speak the language, they can always tell how criminal elements move, and so we must all look forward to having a state police.
Let me quickly take the story of the EFCC probing the former Minister for Aviation. Obviously, there's been, really the new Minister of Aviation came into power. Festus Keyamo San mentioned the fact that he paused the deal on Nigerian Air and said that there was something not appropriate about the way it was executed. Right now, he said that EFCC is, there's an ongoing criminal investigation into the transaction, and he has called for a report on the transaction, that everything that happened under the former minister, Hadi Sirika, on the implementation of the Nigerian Air. If we recall, this entire Nigerian Air thing happened in just few minutes, few days before the end of the administration. Yeah. So there's an investigation into it. The FSS Kamo said that there will not be any new, no privately owned company will be converted into a national carrier, that when we will do a national carrier, it will be done properly. And right now, there's an investigation into what is going, also investigating all the airlines that were the Ethiopian airline, the chairman.
Part of the deal.
They were all those part of the deal. There will be reports to see. I'll be waiting. I thought it will come in like 3 months after, but no matter how late, we want to hear about this report because it smells too fishy. Yeah,
it was too good to be true. All of it that quick. Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune, I think our final paper. EFCC uncovers religious body laundering money for terrorists. Supreme Court dismisses Binani's appeal, affirms Fintiri as Adamawa governor. Over 4.6 million voters expected as INEC holds rerun by-elections in 26 states. Court orders the arrest of Fubara's chief of staff over alleged burning of Rivers Assembly. And COVID-19 probe. Reps Committee orders Federal Fire Service to refund 1.48 billion naira. Which story?
Okay, so the court, Federal High Court in Abuja has issued the warrant for the arrest of the Chief of Staff of Rivers State Governor Eddie Sinehi. Eddie Sinehi was the factional speaker of the State House of Assembly, and he was ordered to be arrested. He was the immediate factional leader when they had that wahala. And according to the news, himself and 5 other persons based in Port Harcourt were allegedly participating in some criminal activities. This was brought, the ex parte motion was brought by the IGP. Yes, that these persons were involved in criminal activities, and the application they based it on Section 37, Section 113, Section 114, and Section 84 and 184 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and Section 35 of 1999 Constitution. So I'm going to check out these sections the office to see the basis. But the IGP brought them and they've ordered the arrest of these parties for the burning of the House of Assembly complex.
Okay, who told that story?
There's going to be by-elections. Apparently, there are 17 federal and 28 state constituencies spread across 80 local government areas and 575 registration areas and wards that will be holding a by-election that will be involving 4.6 million voters. These by-elections, we are hoping to fill some roles. There was a protest in Plateau State because they did not release the list of parties. I just want Nigerians to calm down because you are doing by-election because there were issues with the previous one. So let the INEC people get it right. Let's trust that INEC is doing their best to ensure they get it right. And even if there's a bit of delay, give them, don't scatter ground. Don't burn down anything that would cause wahala just because you want the election to be fine.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let's give it up for Giga Babada! A 358 pounds! Let's give it up for Destroyer!
What is your fear? Beneath the appearance of incredible infrastructure, standard facilities, and beautiful amenities, our estates at Adron Homes come affordable with great discounts and flexible payment plans. No stress, no hassles. Beat your fears and take that bold step today. Subscribe to own your property. Adron Homes.
Building cities, communities, and homes.
A lush woman never settles because when she goes after passion, she finds her true self.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. In Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ Fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. So today's Thursday, and on Thursday we discuss marital issues, life, relationships, parenting, and life issues in general. So today we found a story about a female doctor who narrated how she dumped her spouse that she wasn't in love with. According to her, she had goals which she had shared with him earlier on before the marriage. When she started manifesting those goals in marriage, the husband began to complain that she was too ambitious and she had to leave her marriage after a decade. Now, the real story is that she had dreams, she had things she wanted to achieve, and she knew why she was entering into this union. And the husband obviously probably thought they were marrying for love and all that. Anyways, according to her, it got to a point in her marriage where she felt that you're no more aligning with my goals, and she was comfortable to leave. Now, the real conversation, aside from the facts that she's giving to us or the thoughts she's giving to us, is that more women today are being faced with this option of, okay, I'm now achieving a certain level of success in my life. And if my spouse is not aligned to that, can I move on, or do I be like my parents and stay just because? You know, these are real conversations that we should have. You can call us on 081 0764 1679, 090241634440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YOURVIEWTVC so we can read the tweets. So this woman chose to move on because she felt that, and this is a very bold move compared to a lot of women in Nigeria, because many women find themselves in this shoe, but choose to just stay. Let them not say that I left because of, there's no reason for me to leave. So now, before we start tackling her own, before we start discussing why she left, do you think women today are in this situation where they can just leave because they just feel they're no more aligned with my vision?
Well, women are getting bolder. The society is also changing. There's a lot of awareness on what really makes you happy, why you want to chase your happiness. Back in the day, our mothers stayed because society did not give them an option. It was you marry or you die. You stay in that marriage or you are unsuccessful. No matter what you do, what you achieve, you are seen as a failure when there is no protection, a man over your head in that way. But now it's different. Women are now realizing that if this marriage is not working out for me, I can just pack my bag and leave. There are societies that has also made it very easy, especially in the Western world. If you relocate, the way we feel here is not the way they feel there. The society will support you, the government will support you, you have enough to take care of your children and all of that. So there's a system ready for that in the Western world, which we still are struggling to even get here. And so if you come back home, some people still stay. I have quite a number of people around me who are not happy in their marriages, who would, once you ask them questions, they would list 1, 2, 3 things that they're not really happy about, and if they had an option, they would want to opt out. But also, they pay attention to what will people say, what will religion say, what will my church members say, what will my family members say. Your mom will even call you and say, please, just manage. I'm still managing your father, But the times are changing, and so we would see that in how we make our decisions, because times are changing. What I also saw from, you know, the analogy of the story you shared was the fact that both of them had, you know, like when you have a list of 10 things that you want for your life, and you click with your partner in one, and then you run with it without checking if you clicked in the remaining 9.
But they tell you not to check the others. Remember in church, when you're growing up in marriage counseling, once you have a list, once the first few things, he's a child of God, he's your religion, he's clinical, they are good to go. The other ones, that's what they are.
But
you know, I go to marriage counseling in Nigeria.
1, 2, they did not tell me to pick just 3 out of my 10 and forget the other ones. But what I also saw, because so they always say marry somebody who is family inclined. She wasn't family inclined from the beginning, and the guy did not pay attention to that. So when the guy got there, normally for somebody who's family inclined, when you get into the marriage and you see the situation that, okay, we are in this together, you find ways to make it work. She's not a marriage person. Okay. She was going there because
you're taking us to different
goals.
Wait, I will tackle this issue of her character and issues we think could have happened. But it's the boldness I want us to start with first. The fact that lots of more women feel this option. But my question, going by what BC said, if I choose to leave to what exactly? Because people will say, you can go, you don't have to stay. And many women say, okay, now I go. I'm going to what?
Your life.
I'm going to having issues with how to raise my kids together. We're going to be, okay, you're over there in this, you're me, I'm here. All that conversation. There's always that fear of, you'll be 70 by yourself, you'll be 60 by yourself. That fear women have. So what exactly, can we demystify this living to what exactly?
So let me start by saying that we are in the age of the woman, like the woman. This is the generation of the strong woman.
Feminine.
Yes, we're in the feminine age. We are in that space where women are powerful, women are daring, women are earning, women are taking their life, and there's no holds barred.
Women are coming into their feminine.
And I also think that we're in a generation of selfishness. So there's age of feminism and there's age of selfishness. So with that combined, the idea of a woman right from when we have come is that you don't have a goal, you don't have a dream, you don't have anything. Now you are seeing a new world where I have a goal, I have a dream, I have money. And also a new world where you are selfish, and you can be selfish, and it's okay, chase your joy, chase your love, self-will, chase your happiness. And so women are going for their happiness, they are going for their goals, they are going for their wealth, and you can't blame them, because when we're in the age of men, and we're in the age of, it's a man's world, we all submitted to it. So now the men should learn to deal with this new age where we have found ourselves. And it's a different conversation entirely. So when people say, where is she going to? She's going to live. She's going to live on her terms. You can be 70 as a married woman and still be a lonely 70-year-old woman. So it's not about the marriage that guarantees whether you'll be lonely or not lonely. So the world has changed, and we cannot judge this current world by the last 100 years or the last 10 years. It's different. Since 2020, we have entered a different age. Every decade is different. So I would expect that men are more aware and women are more aware. I went for a conference, and they alluded to the fact that yes, everybody knows we're in the feminine age, but they said we should be careful as women that we don't allow our strength emasculate the men in our lives. So I feel like this woman is aligning with the feminine and the selfishness, and we can address either of them. Was she being feminine and setting her goals and all of that? Yes, it is important. Was she being selfish in her approach to the goals? Because for marriage to work, there'll be compromise, which means that you have to pack selfishness a bit to one side. You can't be selfish in marriage. You make sacrifices at every decision.
Wasn't ready.
So she was not ready to be a woman in that marriage. She just a wife. She wanted to be a doctor. She wanted to be a mother. She wanted to be a successful person, but she didn't want to be a wife. To be a wife, you will sacrifice.
Nima, let me come to you. This new world of women, because BC and Toko have helped also put in that perspective. So we're in this new world of women, and women are feeling that, listen, I want my joy, I want my happiness. That's more important to me. And the terms of engagement of our marriage initially has changed. I feel that it's time for me to move on. In your view, what do you think about this? What's been said so far?
I know she will suffer the repercussions of her star to achieving that goal. Life is not like that. Karma will circle it back. Yes.
Is this a cause?
No, this is not a cause. This is a certain thing. So she is a modern woman, as she said, selfish, as she said, will use and dump another individual that she could possibly damage. She was engaging somebody. She knew the person was looking for a particular thing. She said he was not listening to her goals, and she read her goals out. Count and 3-point agenda goal. That she had her goals to finish residency, to have her babies, to Jackpa, and he had a Jackpa idea. He continued to think she will fall in love. You know that this person is not wired like you. Don't go and use somebody like that who will be dealing with what was wrong, any inadequacies he would have been feeling for, you know, for having to have, for you to leave. You say you pack your bags and you left. He wasn't listening. He said, but in the same post, she was not saying, looking back now, what were her major mistakes? She should have just chased a 3-point agenda on her own while waiting to find love, or while waiting for.
There's a lot of I there.
Very selfish somebody. I didn't need him for Jackpa or fellowship. Obviously, however, for making babies was a different matter. Because society would judge if I pursued an IVF on my own without somebody. I had to do the traditional way, use somebody. Abi? She said he should have walked away that day when I shared my goals with him. It was a business meeting, but he thought it was a romantic outing. When you know he thought,
it's later that
you are, one person was clear. You know, say two people they talk, one person they lie, the person where they lie no. You were clear where you were going. You knew, you were looking at him and you were seeing it another way. In your mind, you were like, you go later get used to it. You were clear you were going to use this person, and when it was time, she's admitting it in the post.
That was it.
She will use the person. When it was time, she will move on. He will get used to it.
That was it.
She moved on. She's thanking God in her post that they are both moved on.
And
But
it was a win-win for both of them.
She said it was a win-win because he got his Jackpa. But she was not going to stay in a marriage. This person might want to stay in a marriage and jointly raise his kids.
Yeah.
How about that? You say he was a romantic man. He might want to even grow old with his wife and say, till death do us part. You saw it all and you did not wake him up. Wake up. I don't love you. It's a business meeting. Don't fall in love here. Roju. She was not at some point saying Faraburuku Bale. You Araburuku Tiesho Bale. You used it.
Whatever that
and
means.
you know this, the drama when it comes to co-parenting. Always. You might think he handled it well. Maybe he's waiting for one thing or the other because you are wired the way you're wired. You want to take all the decisions because you want her to be a single mother. You don't want to carry anybody along. You don't want to. You shouldn't have attached anybody. There's always that baggage when it comes to divorce and you're living. Yeah, you will drag. You shouldn't have attached this man.
I want to take it from this angle because I know that Tokwe took us to the fact that it's a feminine world, right? And BC was going to go to the character of this person that we're talking about. Yeah. And I'm thinking that even in this character of who we are in this new world, in the Western world, they found a way to accept co-parenting. Or they have different phrases for these things. They have things of how we can both be. In fact, some even live in the same house. And I agree that we're not much compatible, right? But they're housemates. They stay together, and everybody does their own thing. Like, they found different ways of this issue where a woman says, you know what, I don't have to stay here if I don't want to stay here. And that's where we are right now. Yeah. This woman obviously is in that phase. But so let's talk about her character also as a person. So you're an empowered woman. But how can you be empowered and also understanding of your situation?
So before understanding the situation, you are an empowered woman. Your boldness should have started from that place. Remember that she was asking, should she have just, done all those 3-point agenda without this man in the first place? She could have
easily.
Her people abroad do it. You go, you keep your eggs, freeze your eggs. When you're ready, you find somebody, they inseminate, and she could have. But because she had our conditioning, our African conditioning, she was also trying to play safe and then ended up using this man. So in playing safe is, okay, let me have this man so that it will be on record that I am married. But you know that you were not willing to go the long haul. You know you were not wife material. You did not place it down. So that character was flawed from the beginning because it was just all about you and you did not consider. So if you had told this man that I'm not the wife kind of person, this and this and this is what I want. At some point, I'm going to go so high. Are you willing to stay with me at the time? Now it will be a record that the man knew and decided to enter, because some men know and they enter thinking they will change you the way some women know what they are getting into with their spouses, with their husbands, thinking that they are the Holy Spirit that will change the man. And after a few years, you realize that this man is unchangeable, and then you walk away. So she wasn't bold from the beginning as far as I'm concerned. She was deceitful from the beginning. You, in your mind, know that it was a business meeting, but you did not spell it out that it was a business meeting. And we, in different ways, do that to people. You know where you're coming from, and you have a clear picture that this person does not understand, and you lead them on. At the end of the day, you change the game on them, and you expect them to understand the evolving you. So she was not a wife from the beginning.
Okay, so let's pack.
That's her character.
Okay.
She was meant for the streets. She should have stayed in the streets.
So let's assume, like, let's.
I don't agree.
Okay, I wanted to make that assumption, right? Let's assume that. But what if in that person who actually fell in love, wanted a home, grew in the marriage together, building together, and now got to the point where
our goals that she's now setting separate them.
Has gone to many conferences, all sorts of talkers conferences here, and growth coach, all of us. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm a strong woman,
yes, I want
feminine energy.
I want to go to Mauritius. I want to go with other women. And the guy's like, uncle, auntie, take it easy. We're not going there. This is the day, you know? So there's that conflict.
Yes.
Many women are facing that today. Yeah. So I want us to address it, not with this woman's character behavior,
this is one
character flaw, but with women who are good characters, but they just feel like, you know what, I want to decide, make a decision. Should I leave?
I don't agree that she even has a character flaw. Nima and BC have seen, they've decided to see that angle. I've chosen to see a different angle of her decision. The way I see her, I don't think she was deceptive. She had clarity before she got married on what she wanted. And she tabled clear goals before marriage. The man's lack of clear goals does not invalidate or make her clear goals selfish or deceitful. She told the man she had 3-point agenda. Do you know how many people, when they do, they say, one girl posted online, I think it was like 2 years ago, she said, I went for a lunch meeting, it became job interview. What are your 10-year goal? What is your 5-year goal? Many men nowadays want a woman that has your 3-year goal, your 2-year goal, your 5-year goal. They are having that conversation. So this girl entered into the relationship with a clear agenda that she declared to the husband. She did not say, she did not tell the man. Maybe the man was not thinking she would change. And she was realizing this man is dragging me down. I can't be dragged back from achieving my goal. So flip it. How many men go into marriage with a clear goal? I want to marry a woman. She will cook for me. She will clean the house. She will make my home comfortable. And she will give me 4 children. The woman will say, I want just 2 children. The man will say, no, I want 4. 2 boys, 2 girls. Or 4 boys because I'm from a family where I was the only boy. I want to have 4 boys. Like, a man will wake up and design his life, and the woman will align. No dream. Some women, as much as they have businesses in them that never saw the light of day till they died, because the man had designed the life. It's not wrong. We are in the age of, we will see more stories like this. Some women will come out and say, this and this is the agenda for my life. Oga, align or go. And that happens with men. Men will say, align or go. When the woman refuses to align, what do they do, Murayo? What do? They cheat or divorce the woman that, you are not keeping the house for me. Have you not heard divorce that happened based on, she's not womanly, she's not a homemaker. Because she did not align with your preconceived image of who your wife would be. Okay. You're not seeing her. You are seeing your preconceived. So this woman, too, is in that energy of, this is the preconceived image of what my husband should be. If he's not aligning, I move on with my life.
I do not deny that, all Tokwe said is valid. It happens. Yes, women are dealing with this in different phases. Yeah. Women are also open with it. So she had a 3-point agenda. She told the man. He heard different. She knew he did. Yes. She wasn't open.
She wasn't.
In fact, in
how would she know he heard
Islam,
different?
She said
let me tell you, they have what they don't call their own prenups, but you can have a marriage contract that says, "I'm going to be your only wife. I am going to this. I am going to that." It will be grounds where they practice Islamic laws for your divorce if any of those things are invalid. Those are people who enter marriage contract. You tell her, you did not sign anything. You were clear about your goal. He wasn't clear, and that was clear to you. It's a use and dump thing. And you had the audacity to call him that he wasn't listening. Meaning you were talking to somebody you knew wasn't listening and you left him. I'm saying that behind these decisions we take, even as modern women, even as good women, some decisions you take, every decision carries consequence. It leaves people in your path, children, husband, family members, in-laws. It leaves them either better or damaged. And we know women who are even in it are constantly reviewing and rethinking how this would affect other people. And that's the way to think. If you want to jump up as a woman, you say, how will this affect my kids? We had Shafi Bello here. She said she moved away at the time she knew it was okay for her kids. These 3 children that she had born, that was her plan now. Did they also plan to be strong women that will not see their daddy?
Let me take this call from Festus. Festus, call from Katie.
Strong children.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You people, you are taking marital issues to another dimension. We are not Europeans. So.
We are not, sir.
Every region of the world has its own identity. So don't let us begin to copy and copy and copy and copy. They have destroyed their own area. What is happening there is nothing to write home about as far as marital issues are concerned. If you want to live a righteous life, I quite agree with Nema on this issue. You can't pick up a man and use him and dump him. If you know you have your agenda, go on with your agenda. Don't marry. But because you have damaged the other person. Yes. How do you now compensate that man?
Mr. Festus, let me engage you for a minute, right?
Okay.
Let me paint this scenario for you. So let's leave this woman, because many of us agree that this woman might have her own personal grouses and whatever issues.
Yeah.
So now let's focus on a regular woman who meets a man and they grow together, right? Now, in this new world that Tokwe had initially described, where lots of women are more empowered, they're earning, they are doing well, they're high flyers, they're traveling abroad, they're doing stuff by themselves, and they're running businesses, going for major conferences where they're learning, getting information. And the man still has the thinking of, you're supposed to be my wife at home raising my children. For me, so he's allowing you to fly, but when it's getting to the point where you are going too far ahead, he's asking you to slow down. Now the woman is now left with the choice. Do I slow down because my husband feels I'm going too far? I'm carrying him along, or do I just say, you know what, our contract marriage, we've had children, we've done this together, I'm fine. It's time for me to exit and live my life and be happy because, hey, there are other actresses who have left and they're doing, and they're happy in their 60s, they're living, looking 50s, 70s, they're looking 20, you know. So they want to live. So that's the new world. How are we handling this? So what do you make of this? That's the real situation, Mr. Festus.
Now, let me tell you, initially there was no love. Yes, the two shall be one. Your destiny is my destiny. My destiny is your destiny. You know, so you allow me to benefit from that favor, and we move along. If there's any disparity between us, that means there's no oneness. You know, it's like a cosmetic arrangement. So when it gets to the point of showing it, it will show.
That's true. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Did you hear him?
Yes.
Yes, I did. I think, let me let you please.
Yes, so I want us to, because we're following the story, so that we can pick where the use and dump came from. He was thrilled by my goal-oriented personality, but he didn't pay attention to the fact that he was not going to be the center of my world. He was not going to be an integral part of my dreams. He shared my vision since Japa was his priority, and he was ready to start a family. However, I had presented a you go do or you no go do disposition. Romance was not a priority. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Don't allow, let me leave that. Now, she came here to say he should have walked away that day when I shared my goals with him.
Exactly.
It was a business meeting, but he thought it was a romantic outing. A transactional marriage was the only item on my agenda, but he thought I would fall in love with time. So the deceit here is when we were taught as public speakers that when you go to an event and you scan the room and see that probably what you have prepared is too high for your consumers, it's too much, and you've looked around, you've seen the caliber of people there, you change your methods, you change your speaking, you change your speech, you change what you have planned so that you can better communicate to your audience. You're not a good speaker if you go and you're speaking above people's heads and they cannot understand you.
And you're enjoying it. Sounding, listening to yourself, sounding too brilliant.
So that's your business meeting with him, and you came with a romantic energy. You change it. Either you clear him that, okay, this one you're doing love. This is not what I'm here for. This, and this is it. You go do or you no go do. And even if he says, don't worry, we will rugged it, you walk away. You owe yourself that responsibility.
I'm looking for transactional people.
Integrity to walk away, because now you're not just thinking about yourself and the benefits you're willing to get, but you're also thinking about this person. What if I get this benefit and I leave? How will I leave this human being? You end up damaging somebody and saying, he should have seen it. He didn't see it.
That's the selfishness part.
Yes.
Selfish.
So we say this thing too when we talk about how men use and dump women. So a man marries a woman and says, after she had 2 kids, she does not take care of herself, her stomach is not firm, the breast is down flat. We'll say to the man, marry your spec. Or the ones that will marry and say, I married her, she was a good church girl, you know, I want her to, she don't bring the street vibes. We don't use that. She know, you know, you're not trying to change her. Some will marry you, go get in and say, you were not domesticated, or you refuse to be, you know, marry the thing you are looking for.
Thank you.
You want domesticated, you don't want educated. Go to your grandma in the village. She'll find you a girl that has been fetching water from river. Yes. So that this one, when she carry bucket on the edge, you will say, because some men will say, I live in Lekki, I have a bowl, but my wife must go and fetch water for my bed. Kuku marry village. Yes. That even when she sit up, she will forbid it. She will find river and go and fetch water from the lagoon. You know? Find those ones. Don't marry someone you will mentally destroy, because it's a mental process to constantly try to fit into a spouse's kidney. You'll be looking at this spouse and say, how do I even... And women deal with it too much for a woman to dish it. That's why I stand.
So I'm not approaching this on a sentimental level, and I hear you, and honestly, we are all right from the different angles. We are looking at the elephant in the room. You know, the trunk is like a snake, the tail is like something else, the leg is like something else. We are all seeing different parts of the societal problem where we are. There's the ideal. The ideal is you marry, as you grow, you morph, and you give a little to the husband, wife gives a little, husband gives a little, you keep on growing. There's compromise all the way, there's communication. Ideal. Very few have that ideal. Our culture doesn't support that ideal. Our religion doesn't support ideal. Our religion is, people quote the religion, submit to your husband, whatever your husband is the head of the house, you are the neck, you are the kidiko. So the religion doesn't support it, the society doesn't support it. Women have found themselves like this inside the marriage, waiting patiently, and somehow somebody has said, you now have a voice, so you are going to see a lot more of drama of this. So we need to prepare ourselves realistically on how to deal with this approach.
And co must begin to prepare their mind.
Yes, prepare.
There are more women.
Your husbands, your sons will marry this. So you need to prepare your sons to understand and how to deal. They will marry love, not this.
Don't marry love.
I'm not, please, let's not quote right. What she did and how selfish she was in her approach. I said we're in the age of feminism and selfishness. We need to now teach our children not to be selfish. It's a daily conversation over and over again. I tell them, because every time in the world right now is so skewed towards selfishness. Corruption is selfishness. Everybody thinking of myself alone is part of the problem. So now we must teach it intentionally that we don't want selfish and we don't want to marry selfish. But the children of nowadays will marry a strong woman. Far stronger than we were or we are. They will marry a stronger woman. So they should know how to handle a stronger woman. Yeah. Many men don't know how to handle a strong woman. And that is a conversation we must agree with.
Lots of women are taking all sorts of pills to stay younger. Back in the day, they used to feel that, you go old and you are wrinkled, you can't date anymore. What are you looking for? No, 60-year-olds are dating well, happy, and they are still going out, they are still partying. And some of them will now preserve their eggs in their 30s. But you know what? Just in case I need it in future. So there's so many options for women today. So as a single woman or as a woman, you can say, you know what? I want to just travel the world. I want to go around the world. I don't need a companion. I can meet anybody else. So what Sokwa is saying is that we are in this world where we must begin to condition our men differently to continue to understand the kind of women their sons would marry, the kinds of women even they might end up faced with in future. Yeah. So people must begin to see things differently and understand how to begin to align with those things.
So all of us are guilty of this deceit and selfishness, because so far we have not allowed people to be. So the society needs to look within and, you know, make it okay that if you choose to be by yourself as a woman, nobody should shame you. It's your choice. Why a lot of people, and also for men, why a lot of people get into shady marriages is because they cannot stand the shame and the stigma society will give them if they are not married. So they open their eye to see that this marriage will not work from the beginning. But let me just do it so that it will be on record that I'm married or I am married. So as society, we must, because I saw an interview recently where it seemed like the elderly woman was trying to shame this young girl who said she was, who said she was happy. And the woman did not understand why you'll be happy that you're not married. I have a lot of single friends, and I know that they are happy. And I'm not afraid when they come around me. In fact, they used to tease me like, this your husband is all our husband. Our diobo, when they want to greet him, they will say, our diobo. Because if you come around him, as he's taking care of me, he's taking care of everybody. He's sorting out everybody. So they appreciate him as our husband. And I don't have a problem with that, right? So I'm not constantly going to be asking them, have you started dating somebody? Are you? I don't even ask them those questions. They just bring their relationship issues to me, and, you know, I talk about it. And I am very intentional about not shaming them for being single. So we must normalize the fact that some women will grow and say, marriage is not for me. And that does not take away from their success. That does not take away from the hard work that they are putting in. Every human being is a full and complete human being without another person. If you choose to walk this life with somebody, kudos. If you choose not to, kudos. It's your choice. So if we can do that at the level of the society, you see more people would stop being selfish, and more people would stop using other people and dumping them just to fit into societal role.
You see, let me disagree. I'm not among the society that owe apology. Because I know that life, every decision comes with its own consequence. If today I choose to be a single woman and raise my kids, I know this, I will face new realities and new challenges that come with that. I will face it with my full chest. I will not compare myself to the woman who will have to put up with a man who will say no to certain things she wants to do, or yes to certain things she wants to do in life. It means that I will always do everything I want to do, but I might need a friend to be the man in my son's life, for instance. I might not even get the friend who will be the proper man in my son's life. I might have to go and study, become the woman for my kid's life. My challenges will be different. In every decision, the challenges are peculiar.
And we face it.
You will chase it. Not that you will say, okay, to avoid it, let me cut corner. Let me do it. It's like doing expo for exam. I'm not among the people that owe apology. I owe no apology. Because she was a coward. She wanted to be a strong woman. Strong, such that they will call you Dokolo. Your leg will stand well for ground. You go face them. Society will talk. But that's not your concern. Your concern is that you don't want to stay and somebody will tell you, sleep like this. My mother is coming. Come and cook for her. That's what you wanted to avoid. So you will get that and stand by it. And then when you are enjoying these levities you enjoy, I have single friends, strong ones, who are doing perfectly well. But our challenges are different. When we sit and chat, nobody is perfect. Nobody is nonsense. We will listen to each other. We'll be like, what you do? At the end of the day, all of us, we have our
every malam with
If you want to be side chick, you will carry side chick with consequence and challenges. You want to be wife, consequence and challenges means that you don't want to see your in-laws, you host them. If they insult you or they break something in your house, you will smile. If you're a single girl, you say, no, this person and this person can't come. Or you're a side chick, you don't even see your guy's problem. Your own is to see only your guy and collect your check. But your guy can come with an insult. And you cannot do the way you don't want.
No,
but a wife cannot decide to your guy that I don't want to have.
Can't somebody just change her mind? Why can't she just change? I plan to be a single mother, but then somehow I just say
life has happened.
I have moved.
That's a good one.
That's
so you have already come into marriage, young, love-eyed, looking for romance, emotionally attached, then it's not working. You're seeing this man who is constantly telling you how to jump, and you're looking at your 40-year-old self that 40 years, they tell me where to sit down.
Nima, are you telling me that every woman must marry? Is that what you're telling me?
You don't hear me. If you don't go marry, no marry. Hold it. But the challenges will come. If I be that on a lonely night, you don't have blanket, You hope you are married.
Stay your hair.
So what? You chase your pillow.
So what
you
Nima
use to your duvet. You not use your
Get toys, please.
Nima, yes. So you are saying that if you choose to be single, hold it and do it, but don't go and meet a man.
Use a person.
Don't use somebody. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Let me take this call.
I wanted to answer the
call.
I was answering now.
So answering me. Hello, thanks for calling. You're on Raji, you're live.
Hello, I'm the first caller to this program.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for the good job you are doing.
Thank you, sir.
But if I may say, I thought all of you are married. Happiness husband. You know, a man, a God Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala create every human being, even especially men and women, to stay together, to live together, to make a good life. This is an important message that we are passing. Is for some women who have not have good character to stay in husband house. Every woman has to submit it to their husband. So that's my contribution. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Raji.
So,
let Nima finish. She was responding to the girl who just changed her mind midway.
Yes, who thinks that this control is limiting me.
Yeah.
This control is caging me. I don't want it anymore. You can have a conversation with this person you're married to, and he still says, no, this is who I want you to be, a controlled woman. And you can say, okay, I don't want to be controlled. Can we think of separation? If the person loves you, he might concede certain things. If he doesn't concede, you can take your separation. But you know, that will come with his drama. That will come with co-parenting and all the other consequences. There's no easy life anywhere. There's no bed of roses. That's my point.
Yes, okay.
So I wanted to also speak about the fact that while we talk about this, we're talking about it from our experience, stories we've heard, the story of this woman that she shared. We cannot deny the fact that we're not having more divorce in Nigeria. And yes, the first caller said that we shouldn't take everything the Western world is taking. But I think you cannot deny the fact that the world is not a global village. What is happening there, the opportunities they are seeing there. Why did they start protesting in Saudi Arabia that they wanted to be able to drive? Because they were seeing that women did not have to have a male escort to be able to go and do their hair or buy things in the market. Like, we are seeing some level of freedom outside that we would also like to experience ourselves. So the world will change, whether we want it or not. And it will come with good, the bad. And we will then have to morph and create our own reality as we desire. Women can change their mind in marriage, because men also change their minds in marriage.
Plenty times.
Because one of the beauty of being a human being is that you will change. You can change your mind. Not God. It's only God that is the same forever, yesterday, today, and forever. Human beings were not the same. We change our minds. And that is how the relationships too will change. There are friends that were your best friends 5-10 years ago, and you cannot even talk to them now. Like, once they say 2 sentences, you can't stand it. And that's the way life is. So growth is a constant thing in life, and we should not be scared of growth. I see a lot of people are scared of growth. Somebody is asking me, please define what you are saying, that women will be strong and stronger. I'm saying women will say their mind now. They will not sit down. Women will not arrange the house and be giving clues about what they want to say. This is how I want to say, this is how I want to couch it. They will say, they'll be polite. I'm not saying women will be rude.
Let me give an example. When they say, if you want something, wait for your husband to be in a good mood. You cook his favorite food. Wait for
after the other room.
That one doesn't work. Not all men that was. Women will tell you, Uncle, this is what we want. If you like, you're in a good mood.
We would have a conversation. We have a conversation.
So those days are over. Let me take this call from Lisa. Thanks for calling, Lisa. You're live.
Good morning.
Morning, Lisa.
God will crown your effort in Jesus.
Amen.
I'm a successful single parent.
Aww.
And I want to disagree with the last caller. That's what people say. They can't stay in marriage because of their bad character.
Thank you.
We will not experience it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
To God be the glory. All of you have spoken well. But as for many that want to leave their marriage for one reason or the other, you should just take the face of God first. Know where you are, know where you are going, and pray very well. Otherwise, people will make jest of you. But to me, to God be the glory. I raise all my children myself by the special grace of God, and I'm happy to be a single parent. And either they like it or not in the church, I'm a child of God. I preach it in the church. Yes, I'm a child of God. Whether they like it or not, let them take it or let them leave it. I'm a child of God and I'm a single parent. And I'm not ashamed.
God bless you.
God bless you. Good
Thank you, Lisa.
God bless you. I love that.
So, and I'd like this conversation to move into singlehood. Because I know that you told me about, you mentioned the Mojibade's video, where she was having a conversation with an older lady who seemed to judge her. Understand that, okay, because her judgment was more like, don't lie to yourself. There's somewhere inside you that you feel bad. It's hurting you that you're not married. In fact, your single friends don't want you around them because they're afraid. Because a woman like that, probably in her 60s or mid-60s, doesn't understand that a woman can be single, happy, successful, and okay. She can pally up with your friend, with your husband, and be cool, and she's fine. But they don't understand it. So, and it is the same conversation I like us to have, where a woman like that will have a child who makes a decision like, Mommy, I'm single and I don't want to choose. And she's having that conflict right now. I know mothers in that age who are talking to me and begging them, well, please, if you know somebody, my wife, my daughter needs somebody to get married. And I'll talk to the doctor. Honestly, I'm actually good. Mommy is the one looking for a husband.
Mommy is the one worried.
Because she believes that I can see what a parent can see sitting down. You can't see sitting on the chair. So my conversation is that, is Mommy right? Or is the girl right?
Both of them are right, according to their generation. Mommy is right. A few years going backwards, you see Mommy's ideas are the one that everybody takes, you know. Everybody wants that for their lives. But we have evolved into a place where people are now understand. You know, when they say this word better half, I used to feel a certain type of way. I'm nobody's better half. I'm not a half. I'm a full, complete human being. You are a full, complete human being. We put forces together to have a complete home. So all those better, meaning that without you, I am not complete. That was the cliche at the time, and that was the understanding and the awareness at the time. But right now, we have realized that you are complete in yourself, and if you now choose, you also want another person who is complete. Now, if you are in a relationship with a partner who sees you as you are the one that completes them, the burden is so much on you, and you're constantly working to satisfy this person because the person sees you as you complete them. And see, in marriages, it's not fun anymore. That one is not fun anymore. Come whole. I come
whole. Be happy by yourself.
Come together, and then we pursue 10,000, like the scripture has said it. So from their generations, they are both speaking their truth. But what I want elderly people to understand is we have this pride of age that what I see, a younger person cannot see. Not necessarily. Some of us have lived lives where the elderly people were seeing wrongly. They did not see Jack. Even when they saw wrongly. And we followed our own heart without even seeing.
And we are happier.
Working out, and we're happier for it. So it may not be everybody's story, but take a back seat first. And even hear this young person out. Try to understand where this young person is coming from. There is no, there's no law that says it must be done this particular way for us to get to the right answer. Even in mathematics, you can solve it with different variations and arrive at the right answer. What is right for you may not be right for me.
Okay, good.
Accept it and allow me.
Now, let's add this angle. Where do we put the part of immorality or morality? Because a woman who says, I'm a child of God, I'm single, I'm fine. How is she, trying to find the right.
I'll deal with that. No.
How is she doing?
No. She doesn't have to do.
Wait. There are some women that don't have to do. Trust me, I know a lot of them in my circle that they don't do.
How do you know?
I know they don't.
We discussed it.
And there are some people who want to do, but they don't want to be doing around. But they want to do it one person. But marriage has a way of making you do it. Marriage has a way of making you do with one person. Once you become single, now this person says, okay, I'm free, I can be 50, I can be single, I'm okay. How are you doing? Are you doing around, or are you doing your own?
You might not do.
Okay.
So there was a trending, there's a single as single and no key person. So the truth is, the single person did not kill somebody.
At all.
So they should be able to live their full life. Being single is not incomplete.
It's not a crime.
It's not good to be alone, but you're not incomplete. you are single, you are complete, you are happy, you are fulfilled. It doesn't force you to be immoral. Let's not give singleness as an excuse for immorality. It's not. Being single does not mean I cannot control myself. My body is not doing me giz everywhere. Is it that everywhere you're moving is the only thing I live for is to have? It's not. It's not. Because you can truly, sometimes we are feeding and stimulating our sexual urges. And we're now blaming singleness as the reason we cannot control ourselves. As a married person, I travel 1 full month. If I'm in the house, we cannot do it happens. But when I travel, I don't stimulate my mind to think about sex. I don't. When I now watch a movie, or I see a couple kissing, I remember, oh, I'm missing my husband, though. But I'm on business. When I travel, I'm on business. I'm going from one state to the other. I am focusing on living a full life on that trip. I'm not every day feeling like I should go and carry Didlo or be doing something I should not be doing. I'm not doing. I'm saying that there are single people who are very you are complete. You are decent. You are pursuing your career. When you see a man, you look at the man. You're not seeing a man and seeing a sexual figure. So you're not. So what? Assuming that every single person is walking around, body is doing them, their entire everywhere is shacking them.
Leave do.
I don't want to leave do yet.
No. Do I want to
okay,
address? I cannot sit here
as an Edo girl
and say do is not important. It is oxygen. That's how
for you in marriage.
It's a business. So I want to say, these single people, they are focusing on one need of a human being. God, in His wisdom, told us to find companionship. It is so important that we don't delay marriages in my own faith. If you find love, don't delay marriage. Family cannot give you criteria that will take you 2 years, 3 years. So for marriage is as fast as you're ready. Now you chose to focus on a need and say that the other needs is society that caused it for you. We will get to that immorality we are trying to avoid. Because you have chosen not to follow the standards. Society, if we call it society, created these standards so we have sanity. If I choose to be a single woman today, I chase it, I say, no, that's what I want to do. But I forget that my emotional needs might come. And then I'm like, I'm on a trip. I watch a video. There's kissing. Maybe you have somebody at home.
Switch off now.
Calm down. You have somebody at home that you can put his image on that and say, okay, I miss this person. Then I'm a single man that I don't have that image to put. I will say I don't care. What we see in these movies, I watched one recently on Netflix, so a Nigerian production. She had that need, and the man drinking beside her in the bar was the available man. She do it. She moved from there. Another person, she was teary because one person now broke her heart. She do it with the next person. Then, when she finally found that her career, everything, she now needed a man, she ended up, told her to be 3 best friends. And she was dealing with that. I'm just saying that the sanity that society, you call, that you say the standard is too much, that they say, find your own. Package it along with your dream. You say, no. They are dictating for you. You chose your own. You are the one who says this need is not necessary. As you grow older, that need that your mother said that you should fulfill now and work towards becomes a need. You will still blame society for not allowing you to do it at that time. You will say they did not allow you to design it the way you would have loved it designed. Is it that destiny, the pencil is in your hand to design it? I'm so sorry. Because
let me also we're having a conversation.
Yes, we are.
I'm not so. And I know for Nima's point, Nima went to the extreme. Let me have his point where I'm a single, responsible woman. I'm not dating anybody. I met a man, and we're together. Maybe I don't release it to him until after 4 or 5 months because I trust that he's mine. And then after 1 year, 2 years, I find out that he's married in somewhere in London and has 3 children, and I break it off. And I'm done, right? And okay, I stay celibate again from that 2 years because I'm a responsible woman. I don't want to be sleeping around. I'm celibate again. For 2 or 3 years again, I'm celibate, and then I meet another guy. I'm excited, oh, he's a divorcee, no problem. And then I find out that he's also still philandering around. After I've given him some, then I say, you know what, this guy can't work anymore. I break it off. Now, that's what she's saying. That it might not be as bad as you. That one night we'll drink. No, she's talking about over 10 years. Dated about 6 or 7 people for different reasons. Not because she wanted to, but because she actually had good intentions. That's what she's saying. Society put a system in place to reduce that for you. Now, my question is, must women, do we have to align with what society? I mean, I'm trying to say, do we have to?
Society succeeded.
It hasn't worked. It did not work. So the thing is, we have only succeeded in making women feel inadequate and frustrated with their life. Because at the end of the day, you will see a single person. I have so many of them around me. The conversation is always, I want to get married. So how should I dress? Where should I go? Why are we putting that pressure on a woman? So you are not living your life because you are trying to get married. That's what I am against. I don't want us to build this system so far has put a lot of women under pressure, where they are judging themselves and seeing themselves as inadequate because a man has not found them worthy to make a wife. And that is wrong. It's not your choice. There are women that have lived. I was talking to somebody just yesterday, on this same matter, I don't tire. She said, I've only dated one person. I'm going to be 30. I feel like I'm not normal. Like, I don't get it. You are an amazing human being. You are a bunch of talent, and you're looking at yourself that because it's only one person you dated, and you dated for a very long time, and you did not even have anything to do with the men. So like, I'm going to be 30. I'm still a virgin. Am I okay? I'm going to be 30. I'm still a virgin. Am I okay? As in,
fear is valid.
Should she have fears?
But she's a human being. We're having this conversation too much from the place of taking it out of humanity. If I am an adult at 30, virgin and all of that, I can always say to somebody I trust, like Tokwe, and say, I know, man, so is there something on my forehead? And you will say to me, you can then respond to that, you are okay, everything is okay with you. This part of your needs, of your full human self, will come.
Yes, that's what I did.
Them that society says that thing is not necessary.
Nima,
she's human,
I inspired her, but I'm worried that there are many people thinking like that. Why are we making them think like that?
Many people think that all of my friends are using iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. Am I normal? Many people think that.
Yeah, true.
That's a lame thinking, but people have it.
Yeah.
So what should we do?
It's okay to ask yourself the question, am I okay? It takes a proper human being next to you who is stronger than you to validate that and say, that's not your problem.
I hope we get the right advice.
You know, not say to you that you're a lesser human being, but you having that thought is normal.
Is it not the same reason that we now people settle, that you say don't settle?
Exactly, because
that girl is 30 and she's saying, I am so intelligent. She now goes to marry the driver or is a gate man. Whoever, let me just marry.
BC, it is in the answering that the problem is.
It's the same thing.
If I say to the young girl, you are not normal.
No, I did my work.
You need to go. We need to take you to Lagoon to use iron sponge wash your head.
Are they not doing that?
Wait now.
Are they not putting incisions?
We are addressing that. We need to take you to Lagoon, wash your head. We need to this and that. You need to check yourself. You have money, you have everything. Nobody will marry you. That is the problem. But when somebody says, you have everything, you're a beautiful human being, everything will be fine. This one too will come, because count all the other things that are working for you, add this one, and in time it will come. It means that you will continue to do well with whatever you're doing and wait.
Okay,
you know?
Okay. Yes, so society put marriage to be able to, as a system, to be able to curb promiscuity and ngayali ebenine, right? But so far, they have not succeeded.
Was that English?
It's Igbo.
You have the dictionary.
Yes. So far, we have not succeeded because we ended up stigmatizing certain things, shaming certain things that a lot of women grew up not even understanding who they are. They have no identity because it's based off a principle or a metric that you must cross to be a human being. And so it has not solved the problem. If we say marriage has solved the problem that it was intending to solve, we will not have issues of side chicks. We will not have issues of cheating men. You think it's just a babe that will see a guy and want to do something. There are married men that go to bars every time and they carry somebody they don't know. They do and they go home. And their marriage is for 20-something years, 30-something years. All those women that have those marriages, ask them what they have gone through. They have stories of even the men bringing women home. They don't want to marry them, they just bring them home, do whatever they want to do and go. So now we need to be true to ourselves. Society has not solved this problem. I have seen single girls who are even more decent than married people. Very decent. They know that, okay, if, for instance, I now need companionship at some point, I can get somebody. There are a lot of young girls now who have partners. They know that marriage is out of it, but I can have one person because I need to be able to satisfy this need. And they have that person, they are not intending to marry, and they stay long, even longer than some people that are in their houses. Are married in their houses. We also assume that the itch you want to scratch, that sometimes is the marriage that helps you. Some people are in their marriages.
And they know they give them.
Nothing,
they know they give each other anything.
They know they collect.
On top, say they're inside the marriage.
They collect anything. And they're in that marriage. So who are
some are collecting half.
Who is fully who? Allow people. See, what you can teach people is understand that you carry energy. the energy of God, the energy of the universe. And because you know who you are, you will not dash it anyhow.
So do we how do we redefine immorality? Going back to the story that I gave, I don't want to go to the battle of they are sleeping around. No, I am a responsible woman.
Yes, sir.
I will only give it up when I feel that I am committed.
I will only give it up when I am married. That's the situation that protects you. The only situation that protects a woman is that you will not give the man until you marry. If I've given you everything you want, if the woman does not have, if she doesn't want, she says the woman wants marriage.
I'm saying I have natural needs.
Then we do it fast. Then we do it fast.
See, you may have natural needs, but you don't want to marry.
We would marry fast so that we can have access to what to do. No, she's saying, Moriah painted a specific scenario that she wants us to address. A good girl in a relationship, dating the guy for 2 years, and then the relationship falls apart. Inside that 2 years, because she's very committed, she did. Then he now broke up. Then after a while again, she waited another 3 years. Did not date anybody,
right? Because the reason why I was saying
marry,
right? Marry one person.
Yes.
I am an adult. I am making an adult decision to sleep with whoever I choose.
That's your decision. I don't judge you for doing it.
That's the immorality. She said that we have to. We can't continue to allow women just have the liberty.
No, we have the solution to that.
Yes.
Those women who dish out is because they don't have any self-worth.
Hey,
to everybody.
Yes, bring
to society.
Not society. It's a decision.
No, I have self-worth.
Listen now.
Not that woman. Listen. They are doing it as women. They are the women that don't have self-worth. That one day. I'm talking about responsible people.
Now they make you.
They give everybody
away to different people.
Once they say you are beautiful, you give them. They say you are beautiful, you give them.
You're missing the point.
She's missing the story. Your story is different.
Your story. You have
no more. Restate your story.
Listen, you have a responsible person.
Yes.
You decide to date this.
Yes.
You dated for 2 years.
Yes.
But it didn't work out. You move on to another person. That's different from somebody who is picking people.
Exactly.
So it is different.
But they are saying, Roya is saying that Roya is saying that they will still label that girl. They will do body count for the girl.
Exactly.
So you are exactly. So you are.
Count your body.
The spiritual part of it.
Yes.
The God.
No. They are different things.
Said you should marry.
Calm down. Let's calm down.
No, wait. You said God was forward. Now you say you are a strong Guinea-Bissau woman, but you want the right
falling
to eat it with any hand
that is around you.
And you still dictate
the strong, the good girl. Let's redefine what a good girl is.
Wait.
No, Brian, that
My
person.
intention was not to sleep around.
I want to allow my point.
Yes.
If you want to eat it, do not eat with somebody's hand.
Yes.
If you go and eat with Tope's hand, for instance, is that not the immorality?
Immorality has happened.
They have names. They call them names. They put them in brackets for a reason.
It is.
Exactly.
So, but I don't want to look at this.
You say you don't want that. They should not call it fornication. It is freedom. It is modern girl. Now in the America, women's rights started in when? 18th century in England. Women started.
We cannot judge everybody by our religion.
They started fighting for the right to own property, do business, everything, and not be under a man. Today, activism started again in 2020 in the same abroad, the Western world, and they are fighting for the right to be a housewife and be called a woman and be honored. So part time. In fact, we are even doing some rights now.
Okay, I have to go on a break.
They say you forgot to go on a break. Even your YouTube fans say, Moriah is enjoying this conversation so much, she has not gone on a break.
My director, we'll right back. Director Longbanu Show.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions on me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Hey, sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Kuku things you do. They make me not know. Who said this?
Thanks for staying with us. All right, we're still having this conversation.
We've been everywhere on this topic, but I think that it's okay for people who pick and choose what works for them. And I am a Christian. I believe in the Christian values. I live by them, but I understand that it's not everybody that is bound by it. And the Bible has told me not to judge. So I'm not going to come on TV and start saying that everybody that does not live by Christian values or Islamic value does not have a life, cannot impact the world. You are using phone, all of you, those who use iPhone. The owner of iPhone, he did not go to church, yet he created. So life has given human beings ability to add value and create. Regardless of religion, you can still do. So I'm not going to judge people for their life, their mistakes, their errors. David in the Bible, he sleep with a person as a king. Kill the person, husband, and yet he's a man after God's heart. So even within all of these things, we must be willing to forgive ourselves. So that woman that has had 3, 4 body counts, 5 body counts, is still a child of God.
That's what I want.
He's still a Christian. God can still use her to birth solution to Nigeria's problem.
For mercy.
And she can still beg for mercy, and she will still be accepted back. So you sat down inside your room and you're counting for her that she don't do 5 or 10 years down the line, she never marry. Continue. You will meet your own. She has gone to meet God. She is already enjoying grace, and she will still marry by God's grace if that's what she desires, and she will still be fulfilled. But we have a society that judges too much. And we judge based on our limited worldview. I don't like that.
Same yesterday, today, and so even though, yes, we are willing to understand it, but the Bible doesn't change.
The Bible forgives. Inside the Bible, they forgive. They forgive for inside the Bible. Who be the greatest apostle for Jesus? The prophet that preached everywhere. The woman at the well. That woman was a woman that has had how many men?
Yes. 5. Jesus counted
for him, and yet she still forgive. Right? The girl did not premeditate it. Let's not judge.
Wait
now who only pass? Who be me?
Sexual misconduct now.
Premeditated.
It's very calculated. So the woman in the well, she was a woman of the road. She did not meet God.
She was in the streets.
The Bible that me, small one that I know. She did not know God. By the time she knew God, did she go back and sin as an affront to God and say God has forgiven?
Yeah, so we assume everybody that goes to church.
So repentance without remorse is God's work to do. I don't understand. Oh, are confusing me a lot.
No. So we assume that everybody who is found in the house of God actually knows God. That's what we assume. So once you're in a religious house,
No.
Your standards must be so high. No, listen. The church or the mosque or everywhere allows a mixed multitude.
Now,
when your change comes, only by yourself you will make that transformation.
Exactly.
So when we judge generally, we just bracket everybody who goes to church as
holy.
So we are talking to listeners now who know themselves. Whether the one that walk into God's house does not know God, or the one that knows God and says, let me just do it in the morning. I know someone very religious. This one I know, and he has the knowledge of the Quran. And when he travels out of this country, he will call the phone number, they will give him somebody. When he comes here, he will do salah to all the forgiving prayers. He will do all. He will become holy. When he travels, he will say it's a travel need. Allah asked him, this affront on God, as in that you are putting your finger right in God's eyes and say, judge not. Are you inside the people they will not judge too?
It's not here for you to judge. Let God judge you.
No.
That's what God to
that's a unique relationship. It's between you and God, really. But those are not the things you popularize.
The pressure for women is that the world is judging them. Everybody. They are judging. Not as much as women. Everybody is judging the woman. She already feels condemned that she's not in a relationship, and yet you see her. Where is your boyfriend? When are you going to marry? Everybody, everywhere, same way. So it is not your job to judge the woman. Your job, my dear brothers and sisters watching me, is to support that single girl around you, because the scratch can be scratching her, and your pressure is making it worse. So support her, pray for her.
Let me
inside
now ask
that place.
$1 million question. When the scratch is scratching a woman like that, how does she get it done?
The scratch for inside marriage, safe.
Wait.
But let's say the single
outside marriage.
When the scratch is scratching me as a single woman, how would I sort it out?
I will resort to my Bible. Bible says, flee all appearances of evil. Flee. They did not say chesting.
It's not evil.
Scratching.
No.
That the result of the scratch, if you eat the scratch,
it's not evil.
It's evil. That's fornication.
It's
evil. Yeah. So once you eat that scratch, it's evil. So because you don't want to eat the scratch, what you will do is you will flee the appearance. That guy that is entering your eye, that every time you see him, your entire hormone, everywhere will just they do brrr. You'll be feeling it. If he just brushed by you like this, we know. And when I was single, if you just brush by, you just do like this, you just be like,
you're melting.
When you see that man, you will not be inside the same room with the man. You will flee.
But why should she put herself on that kind of torture?
You will not tell the... No. You see, let me give you the strategy finish. That man that gives you giz-giz, that when you look at him, you just melt. Your speck, that you did not even know there was a speck, but when you see him, your body connects with it. Your body receives the call that you did not place. Now you find that man, and the man is in a relationship with you.
Somebody else?
With you. Maybe you're dating.
Okay.
And there's a high likelihood of temptation leading into what you don't want. You communicate and say, let's tie the knot. And sometimes we now judge the woman that she's being too pushy and all of that, but she's sacrificing to protect herself.
Because I heard a story, I think the woman sent it to my inbox, something where she did everything by the books.
And it did not work.
Single girl. You know,
that's a lie. That's a destiny.
When she's feeling that skinny cocky, because she goes to the Bible, she'll flee. She doesn't go to parties. She won't go to clubs. She won't go to where men are staying. You know, she's just being very goes to church, meeting, home, and everything. And she told me, I think I was 56 years old, and I wished I lived.
Yeah.
I wished I didn't do all those things they asked me to do. Where I was just saying, I just lived my life, traveled, met people, did some doings around, experienced doing that. I am virgin at 55, and I feel like my life just passed. So people are having real issues.
So there's a story we heard
somebody
yesterday,
else do. I wish that she stayed.
Everybody around me was not saying, it's not good to be. It's this bad girl they pay. That bad girl they pay, because we heard the story of someone who is getting married this year, and the man just bought her she's a side chick, but now she's going to marry. The man is going to marry her. She's driving a car. She goes to church, her WhatsApp story every time is scripture in the morning, scripture. But we know she has a side chick. She has a business.
She's the side chick.
She's the side chick. The business was funded by the Oga. The Oga bought car. The Oga bought land. Now the Oga has bought house for her and is now going to marry her. So now, the other people that were hearing the story are now saying that, so this girl go marry.
Like no balance.
Like this girl go actually marry. Small girl, big God. She go marry you, and we they look God. life is not equal. All fingers are not equal. Some people will commit sin and they will escape. You go just do one like this, like HIV/AIDS. So don't compare yourself with another person.
And also, piousness is not a reward.
Social media.
It's not a reward for marriage. Your ability to keep
marriage is not a reward for piousness.
A reward for piousness, for being righteous, being holy. You are not guaranteed that your reward will now be a very sweet and successful marriage. It doesn't go that way. So the question you'll be asking yourself is, what are my needs? What are my immediate needs? How do I make myself happy? How am I in a place where I know who I am and nothing phases me? Whether it comes or not, I am good. And that's what I'm still saying that society should help people get to. Whether it comes or not, you are good. You are in the place where you are whole and you live a life of impact at every level that you find yourself. Those ones come as additional jara. And I also believe that it's not everybody that would be married. I know that that's what society wants and wishes, but look around you. Just look around you. How many people are we? How many women are we compared to how many men? And how many women do we think would actually have this marriage? So don't make those people who don't fall into the bracket to feel less of themselves. That's what I'm preaching.
I used to wonder, there's this woman, I won't mention her name, that very popular woman, and I used to read her books back then. She was a single, and I was in a conference with her recently, online conference. She's 66 this year. And when I knew about her, I was a single girl. I used to read her books. I used to love her. And I was thinking to myself, okay, between that time, because she was single then,
and she's
between that time and now.
She's still single?
Yeah, she's still single at 66. How has she been doing? She's a woman of God.
She's not doing.
So she's not doing.
Still do.
You cannot.
How can she do?
How can she not do?
Because it's a natural thing, right? The natural God has created our bodies to do.
If you are a mature single, call into the show.
So
you need to
how
know
is
if you are
she
doing or you're
doing?
not
She's
doing.
doing. How do you know?
Because I don't know.
Right, just last night I was speaking with a divorcee. She's been divorced because our youngest child is almost at the end of his teenage years. And she was saying, I wanted marriage, I wanted the love and everything. I got married, I had 3 kids, and it looked like I wasn't going to get that love. Marriage was killing me. She said it was killing me. And I chose to divorce and respect myself. You know that I will not leave the question with how, why all of that. So I kept saying, why didn't you then remarry? Because, she said, when I was young, I saw a divorced woman from my community that married, she's from the East, that married several husbands. And the burial was so confusing. I don't want to put my kids in that box. Situation. I left there knowing this person knows every decision in your own consequence. She said that at that burial, the person died. The first son came, insisted that it's his duty to bury his mom. The younger son said, no, I will bury because my father was the one that paid dowry something. The one that had the subsisting dowry from his dad insisted. Everybody was dragging the corpse back and forth. She said, I don't want to confuse my kids. So when I had 3 kids, I thought, if I decide to remarry or have another relationship, I might end up having another child with another person. I don't want the drama. Every decision you make, as you sit in your corner of your house, when you are finished lying to the world, they are finished. You will tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
I have chosen that God says marriage must. I have chosen that this is how it will work, this is how it will work. The things I can negotiate, I'm negotiating them in my marriage and doing things other people would not even do in my religion. Some people will not be able to walk. They can't even sit on a TV station and talk less of people. They can't even miss outside, talk less of talk. I run a partnership with men. It is not a regular Islamic setup. Because if I were going to the court, also I will meet men. I chose, who will I choose that is closest to my mom? Somebody who we grew up together, went to school together, whose father and my father were colleagues and scholars. I started a partnership. You do things, but you must always try as much as possible to be guided by what you believe. You don't be saying you go come sit down tomorrow, you go and don't eat with my own.
And then we believe different things.
Let's take a few comments. We're going, the show is rounding up. Let's take a few comments.
Yes, so Mount Rushmore says, piousness is indeed rewarded in marriage. Many who married as virgins are doing great. Mina TP says, it's all this shaming that pushes people into unhappy marriages. Let women be. D-Play says, you can keep yourself and still enter a bad marriage.
Let me take Oduayo, they'll take more comments. Oduayo, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm the first caller.
First time caller.
Welcome.
Come to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate your program so much. I've always been keeping my company.
Thank you.
I think I go with your own idea and Naima's idea. For Tokwe and BC, I also appreciate it, but try to be realistic.
Now our own reality we share, so.
The reality I'm saying is that it's not easy for a man or a woman to say he wants to stay alone and he will not commit immorality. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much.
You cannot escape immorality one way or the other.
So, okay. I have Prof says, Professor Imonoka Enahena says, no one puts pressure on anyone to do what they ought not to do, except that they allow people to dictate what our moral and ethos should be. Oftentimes, what happened is the society expects certain morals from us. It is an acculturation of our values where our conscience, our own conscience, so can become our judge also. Being a single mother does not define our strength or weakness, but for our folks back home, marriage creates a sense of moral security and religious safety net that creates perception within our enshrined community affiliation that may help us grow stronger as a person. So that you choose to stay single doesn't necessarily show anything. It's your circumstances that it only defines. And it can be, your choice can also be limiting of you based on what you view as moral or immoral.
I have some messages.
From your conscience, from yourself alone, leave society away.
Before we do conscience, before you do comments, please, can we, how many women actually choose to be single? Many of them is life that happened to them.
Yeah.
So when life has happened to you and you're single, the real challenge now is they are listening to you and they are wondering, hey, with all this cinema is saying, what can I do, what can I do, what can I do? Because really, they don't choose to be single.
Women are choosing.
Some are choosing, but majority are not. Ojibade did not say she chose to be single, though. She chose to be happy in her singlehood because she had been served breakfast. So, and somebody is still looking at her and saying, how can you? You're consoling yourself. You're not truly...
No, let's not flog that one. You know that woman was subscribing to an interview.
Yes, so,
now I have a young...
Hafsa, please. How do you think Reverend sisters are doing? If they are okay without doing the do, then why are you doubting other women that also choose to be celibates? Mariah, this is for you. Stop doubting them.
I'm stirring up the conversation. That's
all
my
single
job.
women are not sleeping around. Okay.
So I have a young girl who chose to be single. She's just 30 this year. I asked her, you know, she just kept saying, no, I just want to be single, I just want to be single. And one day, because of my overpromise, she broke down crying. She had been served breakfast. Is it one breakfast that you will decide singlehood for the rest of your life? Or that your conviction that this and this and this are what I think marriage will bring? Companionship will limit. You know what you're getting. This one now, you're just reacting to breakfast. As if things will not happen in life again that will be breakfasting you. That life, once you take away that one, life will be bed of roses.
Okay, so business. Right, let me take Kazim. Kazim calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
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 How are you today?
We're fine.
First time caller.
We're successful.
Welcome to the show.
Well, I actually appreciate the topic. And it's very important that... hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Very clearly. Please go ahead.
Yes. It is very important to know that this topic is very important to us as a human being. You guys have done well in various... hello?
You're listening to the TV. That's why. Okay, go ahead. Any more comments on social media?
Yeah. So, truth is saying, Mariah is the realist, but she's steering the conversation, so calm down. Some people choose to be single based on childhood experiences, which is buttressing what Nima said. Somebody said, each person should speak for themselves. Some people choose, okay, so they are commenting and replying each other on YouTube. It's a bit difficult to...
What about next? What is next? Okay, so we'll be wrapping up very soon, right? I think really we've kind of
thoroughly
torn this topic into different angles.
Yeah, God's child says, I'm a 61-year-old lady. I have been celibate since 1992 or 93. Jesus. I'm a woman of God. I went for a Christian conference and heard about sexually transmitted demons. That impacted me. I repented. So it's also
Jesus.
okay.
Wow.
Okay, I have somebody here. I won't mention her name. She says, Morayo, I'm 60 this year and never married. I can safely say I am a good and decent woman by God's grace. Unfortunately, life happened and the men just took advantage of me. It's all about God, Morayo. It's not about beauty, not about being domesticated. It's about God. Life is a mystery. Above all, it's a sin to allow any man make you unhappy, in my view. So, I mean, which is great. I mean, so a lot of women are there, they are single and they are happy and decent in their own right.
Yeah.
I guess society is just wondering, okay,
how are you surviving this?
Ola Didi said, truth be told, me, I'm not single, but if I become single, I go do. I'm not wired for that. That is why I married, so I don't sin.
Another choice.
That's
what we have talked about today, as far as I'm concerned, is about choices. It's about the consequences of our choices and how to dignifiedly carry those choices. Or deal with the consequences.
With dignity.
If you choose, carry it with dignity. And when everybody respects themselves, society will not need to put down rules. It is where these people, where we don't respect ourselves, we need to guide. It's just like guiding against crime. Society created the rules as well that we drafted into what our laws are today. Whatever your choice is, chest and well. Carry yourself well. Be like my friend last night who says, I want to respect myself. Don't be like, when you now goof on the side, you blame society, use excuse all the time, using society for excuse. Do what you want to do for yourself and do it well.
You are the society.
My final comment would be that single people, single, you know, keep person.
Yes, sir.
And you can live a full life, adding value, transforming your world, impacting your world, solving problems, being happy, and yet your name will live on after you as a single person. Oprah no born, she no marry. We are remembering her name, and I'm sure after she's gone, we'll remember her name. So choose to live a robust life, even if you are single, as you trust God. Meanwhile, I'm very happily married. I'm not going to be in.
Go ahead. Yes, so I'm grateful to God for those of us that found marriage. I'm grateful to God for those of us that are believing they will find. The expectations of the righteous will not be cut off. If you're believing, it will come to you. Just keep believing. I'm also grateful to God to those who, for whatever circumstances, have chosen to be by themselves. You are complete. You are a full human being. Just work on being valued, that wherever you go, you are responsible, you hold yourself accountable, and do not allow anybody or society to limit you and tell you you are what you are not. Be bold and be brave.
Fantastic. I think I'll just say finally on my own point is that I think don't let anybody judge you. Only God can judge anybody. Decisions you make is you. It's in you. But what Nima was saying earlier was that whatever decision you do choose to make, understand and accept and embrace the consequences of those choices. And I think that's, for me, is the most powerful angle of this. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.